Sorry we're late. We're a few minutes late. If you're here on the Zoom, awesome. I love it. More people hopefully will join us for our next sessions to be live on the Zoom. Feel free if you want to open up your camera or not. We enjoy looking at the black spots, the black squares. It's fine. Nothing personal. But just one second, I'm still not seeing it. I know it says that it's streaming, but I am not seeing it. So hopefully, oh, now I see it. Okay, perfect. So if you are on our Facebook page and you want to ask questions, you can ask. Just one second. I'm just going to mute this. Okay, so I'll see the comments. Perfect. And let me record this as well. Yeah, looks like it's recording as well. Perfect. Sorry again, just first kind of time for me doing this thing. So welcome to our Zoom session. It's Wednesday, February 17th, and we have special guests. We actually all put our Alaska wallpaper background because that's what we are going to talk about. And we have Juno with us. She's going to first explain what she does, and then she'll introduce our guest as well. We have a quick presentation as well, and then give some people a chance to learn and educate themselves a little bit about a really nice and unique product.
Hi, thanks, Roy. My name is Juno. I have a consulting company called Ovivos Consulting, and Alaskan Luxury Cruises is one of my clients. I'm very proud to represent them. So I work with them for marketing and website and just overall in tourism focused task with Didi. So I want to introduce to you Didi and Jeff. Jeff is our captain, so he's the captain of the boat of the Sea Mist, and Didi, she takes care of reservations and sales. So Didi, would you like to go first?
Sure. Do you want me to tell about a little bit about myself?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so Jeff presents first, with the screen. But yeah, so my name is Didi. I actually have been in Alaska for over 35 years, almost half my life, and love it there. Worked for Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge, worked for Stewart Winsong Lodge, worked in Denali at Grand Denali Lodge in Denali Bluff. Worked some for Russ Flying Service and K2 Aviation, and actually some restaurants in Anchorage as well. So kind of a long career, and retired a few years ago. But I got a phone call about a year ago from this guy who had this very unique product, and said, hey, I think maybe you might be interested in checking out what I do. And so I guess the rest is history. So I have been working with Jeff and promoting this beautiful private yacht in Prince William Sound.
Thanks, Didi. Yeah, Jeff, tell us a little bit more about yourself and the company.
First of all, thank you, Didi. Yes, it is great to be working with you, and you, Juno, too. And thank you, Roy, for putting this all together. I'm Jeff Gordon, the captain of the Sea Mist, and I own the boat also, so I'm on the ground every day with the clients doing the trips. I've lived in Alaska my whole life. I started commercial fishing when I was 14 for some neighbors of ours, and that's when my absolute love of the ocean started, and I haven't looked back. I've had boats every day of my life since then, and when I saw the Sea Mist about 10 years ago in Southeast Alaska in a little town called Tenakee Hot Springs, I told my kids that there's my charter boat. When I decide I want to do it, that's the one I'm going to get. And when I decided a few years ago to start this business, I started searching for a boat, and the very first one that came up was the Sea Mist. So I still had the owner's name in my phone from 2009. And I called him up, and it took a while, but we finally ended up making a deal on the boat, and I got started. I have 3 boys, 22, 19, and 14. And, they were hardy Alaskan boys that do all the cool Alaskan stuff. And we've always been on the ocean and love it. And I love to share it with people. I really am blessed to be able to do what I absolutely love to do, which is show people my backyard and where I've grown up and what I do.
Nice. And Jeff, you said you were born and raised in Alaska, or you moved?
I was born in Montana, but I moved to Alaska when I was 6 months old. So I don't tell people that I was born here because that would be a lie, but I've been here since before my first birthday. So
nice. So we've been talking before, and you've mentioned that you guys have been doing this with the yacht for the last 3 years. So you have experience doing it last year during COVID. Could you tell us a little bit about, you know, how it worked and who's actually coming? Maybe tell us how day to day looks like on the boat, and maybe like itineraries, things that you would recommend.
Yeah, we started off last year rough. We were in Washington in March, getting the boat ready to come to Alaska with it. We take it to Washington every winter for our shipyard work. And it started off pretty rough. Lots of cancellations, lots of worried people. And as everything started to close down, I was contemplating canceling my season, and I'm glad I didn't, because with even just a few charters that I still had booked of people that said they were coming no matter what, I made the trip north. And we it's kind of hard to social distance on a boat, but we had clients that wanted to come and have their own private little bubble vacation. So it worked out really well for us. Myself and the crew live on the boat basically from about April to September. So we're kind of social distanced anyway, and we're in our own little private spot. So last year we did good. We had good trips. We had great clients. We had a lot of really fun times. Basically, the day-to-day stuff is you wake up in the morning and the chef makes you a breakfast, whatever you want. There's stuff sitting out like muffins and fruit and granola and stuff like that. And then you can order whatever you want. If you want a ham and cheese omelet or eggs Benedict or whatever, then the chef makes you that. And then after breakfast, we fire up and we motor, and we go for 3, 4, 5 hours a day, depending on our route that we're taking or where we're going to anchor that night. And we ride around and we go look at glaciers, and we watch ice calve, and we watch seals floating around on icebergs. And, we don't really have we have some sample itineraries. So, but the schedule isn't set. It's completely custom. So, if we come across a pod of whales and we want to watch whales and take pictures for 4 hours, that's what we do. And we just kind of adjust the schedule as we go. So we try to only move the boat for 3 or 4, maybe 5 hours a day. And then we anchor in a new secluded cove, and we have kayaks on board and a skiff to take you to the beach to either, do a beach walk or a bonfire on the beach or do some hiking. And then, pretty much everywhere we go, we can put kayaks in the water, and they're big, huge fiberglass touring kayaks. So they're super stable. My kids could actually stand up in them and paddle them around. So we also have a couple paddle boards on board for the people that are a little braver and want to venture out on paddle boards in some freezing cold water. Lunch on the boat, dinner is always, plated, fancy, nice sit down dinner. Our lunches are kind of casual, a lot of seafood stews and a lot of stuff like that. And then, dinners are high-end Alaskan fare food. So when you book a trip, you fill out a preference sheet with, hey, I'm pescatarian, or I'm vegan, or I'm whatever. And then our chef custom makes a menu for your trip. And does all the shopping at, AG Farms, these local small family-run farms. None of it's bulk bought groceries. It's all small stuff. Let's see what else.
Yeah, I mean that is, I mean it is kind of like a full day. I was
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Jeff,
I mean, you know, my goal is for people to come and be on the boat and see great, amazing scenery and a lot of wildlife. And at the end of their trip, I want them to take a big, deep breath and go, wow, that was amazing. You know, we saw everything we wanted to see on our bucket list, and we relaxed when we wanted to, and you know, we were active when we wanted to be, and just all around, I want people to have a really good experience.
Okay, that sounds awesome. So I want to give a shout out for a few people that joined us from within the group. So hi Michelle and hi Chris. We have Susan as well. Gabriella, hi Gabriella with the cute dog. Hopefully you voted, because I see she's requesting to vote for her dog all the time. Hey Lisa, hey Amanda, and another Lisa. And Amanda's asking, so some of the people who joined later, what is the name of the company? What is the name of the ship, of the yacht?
The yacht is called the Sea Mist, SEAMIST, 2 words. And if you Google search M/V motor vessel Sea Mist, then basically you'll get a link right to our website. The name of the business is Alaskan with an N, because I'm an Alaskan, Luxury Cruises. And you can find us at alaskanluxurycruises.com, and there's phone numbers on there. There's an inquiry sheet on there. We don't have our prices on there, and we don't have our calendar on there as public. So you basically need to fill out a request for a certain time period, and then we get back with you with dates and things like that.
Okay, perfect.
right, and Roy,
yes.
you can always, agents can always email Captain Jeff at Alaskan Luxury Cruises.
Captain, okay. We'll
Yeah,
write,
the email is in the chat room if
all right,
they
well,
are.
I'll copy the emails and the website. We'll post them in the group. And let's see, we have some few questions here. Hi, Diana and Helen and Tony. Tony is asking how much, because we talked about it. I know it's, of course, it's going to come up. So we want to know who the target market. So how much is this charter? How many people can come on the boat if I decide to, you know, is it like a full charter or you're renting it in pieces? How does that work?
So you really are able to customize that as how you like. Maximum number of people is 6. We have 3 suites on board. They all have their own private bathroom, which is not usual for a yacht of this size. The yacht's 78 feet long, so it's very spacious. 7-foot ceilings, lots of windows to be able to look out and do viewing. So the maximum number of people is 6. The retail price is $9,900 per night, and there is a 3-night minimum. So a trip is 4 days, 3 nights minimum. So, you know, you're looking for an audience that can spend $30,000 for 4 days on a yacht, essentially, whether that be 2 people. Last year, our last trip was a couple that it was just the 2 of them, and he wrote an amazing review back to us and said, you know, it was one of the most romantic things my wife and I have ever done, is to be on this yacht, just the 2 of us for that long. And they had taken other yacht trips. So, but whether it's 2 people or 6 people, the price is $9,900. And of course that's commissionable. Or if you're an agency that's packaging and working and needs a net rate, well, then of course we can also offer a net rate.
So remember, this is for small, private, 6 people max. So we're looking at maybe 2-3 couples wanting to go together, more on the higher end, customized, private. This is a unique experience. Minimum, we said 3 nights, correct?
Correct. Yeah, and it can go all the way up to 7 or 8 nights. You know, that really depends. That's why we customize every itinerary. But it's also great for multi-generational groups, especially right now. And, you know, there's, you know, parents and kids. What do they say, that the grandparents pay for the trip and the kids decide where they go and the parents just have to tag along, right? So it's great because you're in a bubble. You aren't, you know, if you're worried about, you know, your elderly parents and it's maybe their 50th wedding anniversary and you're trying to figure out a great trip that you can do. Well, these these kind of trips work really well for that. Or a a girl's getaway, 40th birthday, and you and your girlfriends want to do something very unique and you want to get away with your girlfriends for a week. Well, this is something that works really well for that.
And what's included in the price? Is there anything else, like the food, the drinks? What is included?
Everything. Everything. From your beverages to food. We pull shrimp pots on a daily basis. So you put a shrimp pot down and the next morning you pull that shrimp pot and go off with fresh shrimp for your shrimp cocktail that afternoon. We go visit an oyster farm and gather fresh oysters. There's the opportunity to fish. It's not included in the price, but if you want to do some private charter fishing, lots of times when you do that, you may have to travel 3 or 4 hours to get to the area to fish. Well, if you're on the Sea Mist, we just have that private charter travel those 2 or 3 hours to where we are and then take us to a fishing site that's closer than if you were doing it, from land. So you can helicopter in and out. We have the opportunity, if you fly into Anchorage, to be able to put you on a helicopter and have you just fly to a secluded cove in Prince William Sound and have the sea yacht there or the Sea Mist there waiting to bring you aboard. I mean, there's all sorts of very unique things that you can do for those people that are looking for an experience that isn't like everybody else.
Okay. And who's your target market? I mean, people, do you have like a certain age or?
The demographic of really, it's kind of all over the board. I mean, we've had a lot of families that have young children, especially in this climate. People are looking for ways to go out and do things as a family together. But I suspect the age market, a lot of doctors, a lot of lawyers, people with the disposable income. And what we also find is that this group of people lots of times are last minute decision makers. Jeff was talking about the fact that even though we didn't have a whole lot on the books for 2020, the season ended up being okay. And it was because, lots of those folks have the disposable income and we have people that fly in on their private jets. They fly into Alaska on a private jet and then get on the Sea Mist. And we actually have a group coming this year that they're going to another lodge, then they're coming to the Sea Mist, and then they're flying to Mount Rushmore for dinner.
Okay, nice for them. Amanda on the group is asking if on the website they have you have the available dates. I think Captain said no, you have to email.
Right,
Yes.
You have to email, and part of the reason is because we need to figure out, how many nights do you want? Do you want 4 nights? Do you want 5 nights? A lot of people have more than a 3-night trip. So then we kind of have to look at that and adjust that in. But I can tell you right now that we have a fair amount of space still available in August. We have a couple of weeks left in July. May is totally booked. And we have I think a couple of weeks in June. It's kind of sporadic. I think the beginning of June is booked, and then we've got a couple of weeks towards the end of June.
Okay. Scott in the group is asking whether you guys go into Glacier Bay or maybe go into some of the more touristy areas, we'll call it, or do you have like a different itinerary?
Well, we operate in Prince William Sound for June, July, and August. So that's up in central Alaska, real close to Anchorage. Glacier Bay is down in southeast Alaska. And we don't go into Glacier Bay. We don't have a charter permit to go into Glacier Bay. And Glacier Bay has a lot of recognition because it's a national park. But Prince William Sound has the highest concentration of tidewater glaciers anywhere in the world. So if you think you're going to Glacier Bay to look at glaciers and ice, you're going to see a lot more glaciers and ice in Prince William Sound than you would in Glacier Bay.
Yeah, it's normally when it's not on the itinerary and when things change, that's where you get to experience more of Alaska. That has been my experience.
Yeah.
Also, one
but
more
we
thing.
do trips in Southeast. We do trips in Southeast Alaska in September. So June, July, and August we are in Prince William Sound, but then in mid-May, and September, mid-September, we can do trips, Ketchikan, Juneau, to those types of areas.
Okay. One more thing that I wanted to mention, which I forgot, we will be raffling a door prize. They have like a nice things from Alaska that they'll actually ship. One of the participants here will actually ask you to, and I'll put it in. I'll put it in a post. But if possible, you're going to email Juno with your email contact. She'll add you to her mailing list, and she's going to pick one person, and she is going to give you guys a prize for one lucky participant. Right, Juno?
Yes.
Yes.
So so I think it'll be easier if everybody email me. So I'm gonna write down the email here, and Ro, you can copy it into the Facebook
Yeah,
group.
I'll put it in the Facebook group. You can send her an email. She'll add you to the list. If you don't want to, you can later on subscribe. But she sends out nice, good information. And Juno also represents other suppliers that are unique and different that sell Alaska. So check out her portfolio and the companies that she represents. Let's see if anyone has any more questions. Let me know. What about what's the cancellation policy? Deposit payments? How far off can we book? Can we book for 2022, 23?
Jeff, you want me to take that?
Of course.
Yes, he does. Okay.
We're not
we
talking
will
about the boat.
we will always take your money. No, right now, 50% deposit is due at time of booking, and that deposit is non-refundable. You know, when you only have one yacht, it's you have to sell it when you can sell it, right? So to have a refundable deposit just doesn't work for us. But 50% is non-refundable at time of booking, and then 90 days prior to your trip, full payment is due. We do very much encourage people to get travel insurance because that just protects our guests that are on the yacht from any complications that may come up because of illness, etc., those types of things. If for some reason the state of Alaska shut down and you could not get to the state of Alaska because the state of Alaska wouldn't let you in, we're not part of Canada, so I don't think that'll happen. Then we would either refund your money or figure out a different date. But you know, otherwise, that's the way our deposits work. And yes, we would be glad. And we're booking 22 right now, and of course, we're certainly available to book 2023 as well.
Okay. I had a question here from Scott. He's asking if you guys have any marketing material that he could use for at his consumer trade shows and people that he's reaching out to.
Yep, absolutely, Scott. If you will email us, I have a wonderful sales piece that I can allow you to print. It's beautiful, and it allows the guest to contact you instead of contacting us, right? So it doesn't. So you can put a sticker on it with your contact information or whatever, so that if you want that client to come directly to you, it doesn't list our information. But it's a really, really pretty piece. And if you email me, I'll send you a copy of it so you can look at it, and you let me know how many of those you need, and we'll make sure we get them to you.
Okay, nice. So I put Juno's email in the Facebook chat. We'll put it later when we put the actual post with the video. And then just a reminder, you need to email Juno. Just email her, and then we'll from everyone who sent her an email until Sunday evening. She'll let me know on Monday. We'll pick one winner, we'll announce, and they'll get the nice door prize that they have for us. Commission, Justin, we talked about 10% commission as a beginning.
Yep.
If you do a lot of business, let's say it's negotiable. They also have an option to give you a net price. Since we are talking about Didi on larger amounts, payments, do you take credit cards or is it wires?
We prefer wire. That's the way we usually do everything, is by wire transfer.
Okay.
If it's a client that is determined to use a credit card, then we can make that happen. But wires seem to work the best for everyone.
Okay. Well, again, this is that type of client. Normally, again, it's not going to be an issue with even with the 50% deposit. Of course, insurance, we have to take our own, right? You don't work with a specific insurance
Correct.
company. It's a
Correct.
third party that we, okay.
Yeah. And there are, I know there are insurance companies, travel insurance, that are covering COVID, so that if, you know, someone gets sick or whatever before your trip, then you know, they refund those dollars. So we have been encouraging that, although the state of Alaska now has lifted all their, they're not even making people test before they come in the state now. So that's great. State of Alaska has lifted the rules and regulations from that point. I'm hoping it will not change before summer. I think that the state of Alaska is really feeling that they have a pretty good hold on herd immunity, and are certainly it's going to should be easier to travel to Alaska than it was last year.
And for most of your charters, people just fly into Anchorage, and then
they fly into Anchorage, and then there's a number of ways to get to Whittier. You can take the Alaska Railroad to Whittier. We also work with a private transportation company, BAC, Bach Limo and Transfer. And of course, we can arrange for an SUV to just bring the whole party directly to Whittier. When you go to Whittier, you get to go through a really fun tunnel. I don't know, Roy, if you've ever gone through the Whittier Tunnel, but it's one of the only tunnels in the world that is shared by cars and train. So the tunnel opens 30 minutes. At the top of the hour, you drive through the tunnel one way, and then it has to close. They suck all the exhaust out, and there might be a train go through, and then and 30 minutes later, the tunnel opens to go the opposite way. Most time, guests get on the yacht about noon, and then on day 4 about noon is when they get off the yacht. Like I said, you can helicopter in and out, and also we work with Russ Flying Service, and they can get you in and out by float plane. So there's a lot of really fun ways to meet the yacht.
The tunnel sounds complicated. If you miss that entry, you have to wait until everything.
You have to wait an hour. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
But it is a attraction. Like, people love going to that tunnel. Like, you wouldn't think so, but whenever we bring people over, because you go for really long time, like a dark tunnel.
It's a really long tunnel.
Go in, and everybody's just like, this is amazing. And you get out of the tunnel on the other side, and the beautiful glaciers on the other side. It's amazing.
And when they built that tunnel, which has been many years ago, it was, I think the military is who originally built it. And their technology was so good that when they got to the middle, they started from both sides. They were really, really, really like inches away from being exactly spot on to where they thought they would be. So it's a great story.
Nice. I think we lost Jeff, but I think he's back now.
No, Jeff is back. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Sorry about that. I had something happened here with my internet. So.
Oh man, I'm glad he didn't hear me say all those bad things about him.
Yeah, I doubt that was the case. What did I miss?
Yeah, so if anyone in the Facebook group or anyone on the Zoom has any questions, if you're on the Zoom, you can unmute, ask the question, or put it in the chat. If you're on the Facebook group, let me know. I think most have asked questions, but we have I see about 19 people on the Facebook page. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Again, email Juno. She'll send you information on how to book, how to reach out, how to connect, the website. I'll put the website information. You could check out the Sea Mist. That's the name of the ship. Private charter, luxury, 6 people max. You can rent it for 2 if you want, but 6 people max. All unique, personal experience. Chef on board. Customize the trip the way that you see fit. It's not mass market cheap trip. It's a high end for the specific market that if you have these high end suite clients that are used to the very, very high end and they can't get to Alaska right now. There's no limitation for cruising in Alaska. The problem is cruising and stopping in Canada, which the smaller ships have no problem whatsoever. So that's the key if you have that clientele. Also, look, this is again a very unique, amazing product. You can post it. People can maybe find it interesting. Maybe they can't afford it, but it's a starter. It's a conversation starter. You can use it. You can talk about it. People like to dream. Who knows? You know, maybe one day, maybe they know someone they met that, you know, in the country club or whatever that flies these private planes and, you know, that type of client. So even if you don't have them, you know, put it out there. You never know.
Well, and I think the other thing that's really fun about it is that it truly, I mean, Captain Jeff in the wintertime, you know, is the guy I have a picture I should have posted, is a guy that's in his snow machine, you know, in all his winter gear and snow machining with his boys to a cabin that's 80 miles off, you know, the road system. So he's a true Alaskan, you know, when you're on that ship, when your guests are on that ship, they're talking to somebody that lives there year round. I mean, Jeff used to work on the North Slope, you know, he has lots of stories about his work up there. He's very, very good with the guest. And, you know, if you get an opportunity, look at Google reviews or TripAdvisor reviews. You can find out a lot by what other people that have been on the yacht say. And he and the crew just are, he has the same chef that was there last year. Chef Zach is coming back. Kate, the steward, has been there for 3 years since the very beginning. And they just, only reason I went to work for them was because they just do a really, really good job. And it's something that I'm very proud to share with people.
How many people, like crew? Is it the
Three?
Three. Okay.
Three.
Yep, I'm the captain and on the boat every day, doing the trips and entertaining, showing everybody where to go and what to do. And Curtis she'll take care of anything you need, whether it's, you know, you want to do this or you want to do that. She makes all the drinks and serves the food and does that kind of stuff. And then Chef Zach is basically, he's in the galley. The galley's open to the salon. So, you know, it's as easy as looking up and saying, hey, can I have this? And he always says, absolutely, and makes it for you and sends it out. So really good.
Nice. So you live on the boat during that time during summer? You literally just
Yep, the entire crew, me, Kate, and Zach, we all live on the boat from about we start our shipyard work in early April. So they show up and Zach cooks for the crew and my workers that are working on the boat and Kate, and then we leave Washington around the 1st of May, heading for Prince William Sound. And on the way up, Zach's on the boat and Kate's on the boat, and I drive the boat and do maintenance and stuff like that. And we stay on it until I usually come back home to my house in Alaska sometime in November. And then I spend, 3 or 4 months here in the wintertime.
All right, nice. Well,
the rest of the time,
maybe if my stock portfolio goes up, like the stock for the cruises that we posted yesterday goes up, maybe I'll consider for next year.
Well, if you get 5 of your buddies together, or you and 2 other couples, when you break it down per head, it's really not that expensive compared to coming to Alaska, staying at a nice hotel, buying all of your food, buying all of your meals, and then also paying for activities, right? Like if you want to go on a kayak tour, you're going to spend money on a kayak tour. If you want to go on a glacier
it's not,
walk,
it's not a buffet. It's not cheap, but it's
I think it's $16.50 a person for 6 people, $16.50 per day.
That's what I figured too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Roy, when your stocks go up, I'll let you treat me.
Not a problem, Susan. Okay, so Anyone, if I'm not seeing any more questions, anything else, Juno or Dee Dee, Jeff, anything that you guys want to add?
You know, I was just going to say a great way to advertise this is calling it a bucket list trip. And we've been talking about bucket lists because people have been locked up in their homes now over a year with a possibility of not traveling in 2021. So they're saving all their monies for that special trip. So this to me was very interesting. It's something very different. And you might find 3 couples that say, hey, you know what? We've been locked in. Let's do this. It sounds safe. I think it's very unique, and I think it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, what do you got to spend the money for? I mean, you don't have anything to spend it on. You're stuck at
That's
home
correct.
anyway.
Exactly. Well, and also on our website, there is a video there of the sea mist, which you have access to. And that video is also on YouTube. So if you, as an agent, want something to be able to share with your clients, that's certainly there. And you can also very easily email us, and I can get you some additional photos and that type of thing. So there's a picture of the sea mist right there. Beautiful, isn't it?
Nice. Yeah, we forgot we had a quick presentations. We normally don't do presentations, but we do have that. Yeah, maybe Juno, you can click on a few of the pictures just to go forward so people will see.
Oh yeah, we were actually we were featured in Travel and Leisure magazine as, from a small ship perspective, one of the top things to do in Alaska.
We're very proud of that. It's pretty amazing.
Do the waters ever get rough?
No, the boat has hydraulic stabilizers on them, and for the area that we're in, it's a really big boat. So a lot of times we go into really narrow little channels and coves and stuff. Anytime we're out in more open waters, the boat has giant fins down in the water that move and keep the boat flat. So we've never had any guests get seasick on the boat. It's real big and heavy and real stable.
Dee, what's your email address?
Here's a picture of the salon. The galley's there towards the right. The dining table's there, seats 6 people. Lots of windows, and the boat was built for a guy who was 6'8". He had it custom made. So for tall people who are always bumping their head on boats, it's really, really good for that. Let's see, here's minimums. We work with some great travel partners up here to get you to and from the sea mist. We have BAC Limousine. We work with Alaska Helicopters if you want to fly in a helicopter. If you choose that option, then you do a beautiful sightseeing tour over to Prince William Sound from Anchorage or Knik, and you land on the beach, and then we pick you up in a little boat, and basically, you know, the crew handles all your luggage and all your stuff, and then it works out pretty good. You can also fly in a float plane, and when you fly in a float plane, the plane just taxis right up to the boat. These are the rooms, and we also have, you know, if you have 6 adult couples that don't want to sleep in that bunk bed room in the bottom, then we switch and we put the crew in the bunk bed room, and then you would end up with 2 of the same room. That's the middle picture. And the top picture is the master suite. So there's famous Kate with some shrimp pots, kayaking by a glacier, whales. We see a lot of killer whales, a lot of humpback whales. Light hiking. We're not, you're not going to go extreme to the top of the ridge kind of stuff. We do a lot of beach walks in the evening. Some of the hiking places we go are Chugach State Park hiking areas. So there's boardwalks where it's muddy and it's real easy hiking. Real nice one we do is about 3/4 of a mile each way with about probably a 300-foot elevation gain up to a high mountain lake, which is not high mountain at 300 feet, but it kind of looks that way. Real clear water, really beautiful setting. Like I say, Chef Zach is on board and we'll do anything you want. We can take your fish. If you decide to do a fishing charter, on the charter boats, they clean your fish for you and process it all. So you can say, hey, I want to have halibut for dinner fresh on the boat tonight, and they'll keep some of that out for you and we'll give it to the chef. And then the rest of the fish goes back into Whittier and gets dropped off at a processing plant where it's processed and vacuum packed and frozen. And you can either pick it up at the end of your trip and take it home as luggage frozen in a freezer box, or you can choose to have it shipped to your home, and you just put the date that you want it to arrive at your home, and it'll be shipped and waiting there when you get there. We're all private. We don't mix groups. We work Prince William Sound, Southeast Alaska. Yeah, our itineraries are completely custom based on exactly what you want to do. So when I call you, you'll say, well, we want to see glaciers, or we want to concentrate on wildlife, or we want to kayak, and then I'll custom make an itinerary for each trip. This is what some people said about the crew. Really take the time to go look at TripAdvisor and also Google reviews. We've got some really amazing clients that have shown their appreciation by writing us a good review. And here's all of our contact info.
Yeah, put Captain Jeff's email in the group, in the Facebook group chat as well, and you have the website as well.
And then you can sign up for our newsletter called The News from the Sea Mist. And we send you news and pictures and stories from the boat, and as we are preparing for the season. So this is a link here, and I also put it in the chat room. And I will send everybody who send me an email this presentation, so you can have all our contact information, the links, and the how to sign the newsletter and things like that.
Awesome. Okay, great. I'm not seeing any more questions. I think we got a lot of the information, and if you have any more, just post them below later, or you can email Captain Jeff or Didi or Juno. They'll love to give you some more information. Maybe we'll invite Juno in the next couple of weeks to maybe talk about other things that she has in Alaska. Her portfolio is interesting. So
yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah,
I think with the big cruise ship ban news, I think a lot of people are looking for different ways to get to Alaska now. So we've been talking a lot about land packages that includes like small ship cruising with Jeff, and because you can connect it very easily. So yeah, there's a lot of good ideas, and Jeff is doing a weekly webinar that he's presenting to travel advisors. So for everybody who email me, we'll also send you that information so you can join and learn about Alaska luxury cruises and other programs that you can come and connect to the Alaska packages.
If we have a client that is interested and he wants to do like a private session, like a kind of this, and maybe educate themselves a bit more, is that something that you guys will be open to?
Absolutely.
Yeah, very much so.
Absolutely.
Yes. The more, the better.
I try to have a one-on-one conversation with every client prior to them even booking. As soon as we get an inquiry, the first thing I do is call up and get somebody's idea on what they're wanting to see and what they're wanting to do, and talk to them about the product. And then from that point, then Didi takes over the email chain and goes through and plans all their stuff and does their preference sheets and their itinerary and all their travel stuff.
Awesome. Great. So again, thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Juno, and everyone that came and joined us on the Zoom and in the Facebook group. Hopefully we'll have a few more sessions. We actually have a few lined up. I'll post them in the group so you guys can register. I highly recommend that you register in advance. You'll get a reminder. You won't have to search and find the link. And that's pretty much it. Have a great rest of the week and a great weekend, everyone. If you're somewhere that is cold right now, hopefully you guys stay warm. It'll get better. Eventually it will get better.
Thank you all for joining and listening
Thanks so
today.
much.
If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Have a good day.
Roy, I'm going to be watching the stocks.
Bye, Susan.